Well, right now the real estate market is kind of crazy. People have been going over asking price. They've been waiving inspections, and for someone coming in and trying to buy something, it's kind of a scary time because prices are a lot higher than they have been in the past, and clearly it's a seller's market right now. So we're coaching with Grant and giving us ideas about how to navigate that and what that's going to look like, and our first bid went pretty well considering. When we first sold our house in Woodlake, we had a different realtor that lived in the neighborhood and knew the area pretty well, and gave us some advice which didn't turn out to work, and the listing expired. We hadn't sold our house. We put a lot of money into the house, and we enlisted Chris, and he told us some things that we needed to do still, and recommended some different strategy. He had come in and reshot pictures of the house. He had done a drone video, and that worked a lot better. He was really straightforward and honest with us. The first realtor had told us some things that seemed a little fanciful at the time, and Chris came in and just told us the way it was and said, "This is why your house is not selling. This is what we need to do." And he had us an offer within probably less than 2 weeks in a fairly tough market. When Chris came in to sell our last house, like I said, he had done things more from a modern perspective. The other real estate agent we had used did a lot of paper and pencil type things, and had listed the house and didn't really use any of the modern technology. Didn't really take advantage of the internet potential. Chris had shot videos with a drone and had sent it up high and taken pictures. We lived in Woodlake, and he had taken pictures of the lake, and you got a good panoramic view of the house and of the lake. And with his MLS advertising and the way he had structured the way that the house was listed, he really you could tell he was young, and he was really knew about the technology and really knew the new way the houses were being sold, and that was something that I think ended up working. So when he sold our house, like I said, he had used some more modern techniques. He had enlisted another person to do the photography with the drone, and they had a house walkthrough with the drone, so you could see you're walking through the house in real time. So that was I think a step up as opposed to just regular photographs, which are important, but it gave a new dimension to the process. When we're on the buying end now, we're looking at listings. We're talking with our agent and getting back to us almost immediately with things, giving us suggestions, and getting back to the client, the seller, and getting the using his phone, using technology to go back and forth with us and keep us in. We had the initial meeting. We had the option of doing that as a Zoom meeting, so we ended up coming into the office instead. But using that. Using those features just made them. You could tell that they knew what they were doing, and they knew how to use the technology to really make the process streamlined. Well, from a seller's when we were selling, like I said, he was really on top of the process. He gave us a brutally honest perspective about what the prior agent had done and why that wasn't working, and came in and told us what we needed to do as far as which updates to make and which ones to ignore, how to market. He had used not only the MLS, but he had used I believe he'd used like Facebook or something else, and got the property out there, and had a multiple prong approach to how he dealt with things. From now that we're on the buying end, Grant is working with us, and first sat down and really questioned us about what we wanted, what was important to us. And we knew to some extent, but as we walked through and we saw different properties, we were fine-tuning it in our heads as how we were doing this, and he was willing to adapt and change with us as we would say, let's see this one, and then when those didn't work out, he was learning from us, we were learning from him about what we really wanted, and what we thought we wanted wasn't always necessarily the case. But as we spent more and more time going through properties, he was very patient about watching our evolving search and finding what really turned out to be the best property for us.